If your altar feels flat, if it looks beautiful but doesn't feel powerful, and if the workings that you're doing there are not landing the way that you expect, I want to tell you something that just might surprise you. It's probably not your altar. It's probably what you either have or have not done to it. An altar isn't automatically powerful, okay? And it doesn't matter what stuff you have or don't have or how pretty things are or how plain it is. It's what you do with the things that you put there, okay? Did you just buy the statue at the store and go, oh, I haven't got a statue, let me put it on my altar? Well, no, okay? This has energies from where the material came from, who built it, packaged it, shipped it, the store it went to, everybody in there that's touched it, okay? You've got to cleanse every item, and you have to charge it and make it yours, okay? This is my goddess statue. This is my, goddess offering or, candle or whatever it is, okay? Whatever that particular item is, you charge it. You make it part of your altar, okay? Placing items doesn't just, automatically create a sacred space. But today I'm going to teach you how to do all of these things, okay? I'm LadyStarFire, and I'm a 3rd degree high priestess, as most of you know if you've been watching my channel, but I have been practicing for over 50 years, all right? I've had a metaphysical store, mail order and store, since 1989. I know what makes something work. I have had the same table altar, not this one, of course, but the one that resides in my altar room, since the 1980s. Okay, that one piece of furniture is so highly charged because of, everything I've done on it, to it, and all the circles that I have had while using that altar. Not to mention all the stuff that, resides on it and has for decades, okay? So pay attention, and I'm going to help you create the most awesome altar, not necessarily the things on it, but powerful to help you and your workings work. So what is an altar actually supposed to do? It's more than just holding things. It is the focal point of every circle, ritual, spell work, everything that you do. It is the focal point because this is where it, happens, okay? And since this is our focal point, what we put on it, how we take care of it, what we do to and with it matters more than anything else, okay? When you have an altar that you have cleansed, charged, and all the things that you put on it have been cleansed and charged, and you continually use it, okay? The more you use this altar, the more powerful the energy is there, okay? To where when you just walk up to it, you feel it vibrating, going, yes, we're going to do more work. I'm here. I got you, okay? This is important, okay? Your altar space, your altar itself is as important, if not more important, than the whole space that you use, okay? It doesn't matter how many beautiful items, okay, that you place on it. It makes no difference, okay? If they're not energetically charged and your altar's not energetically charged, it doesn't matter. It might as well be a, shelf in your living room that you put pretty things on, okay? The items that you put here have to have purpose. There's a meaning behind every single thing that you place on your altar. It does not have to be full. It doesn't have to have all kinds of things. You may have a god and goddess candle in your censer and your bowl of water with your salt and, your plate. You may just have a few things, okay? You may just have your candles and then the area for you to work, build on it, okay? You'll add your athame, your bowling, your wand over time. You don't have to have it all right this minute, but what you do put there needs to have a purpose and needs to be cleansed and charged to be yours, okay? And to bring in those energies, okay? Because this represents my goddess. This represents my God. So they need to be energetically charged by me that's what I want them to do and who I want them to represent. The reason that most altars are not, they come off kind of flat because they're never energetically charged to begin with. Or maybe you don't have a place to have an actual altar, and so you're just taking whatever and you're just doing it, okay? I mean, I understand. Sometimes that's all you can do, but whatever you're using as your altar, I don't care if it's a TV tray, energetically charge that, and when you're not using it, you put it away so nobody's touching it, all right? So that it keeps your energy. Not everybody can have an altar room, that's always set up and always there, and therefore, the energy just builds and builds. I totally understand that. But the things you do use, you need to protect them and keep them sacred. And, you charge them, you cleanse them, you charge them, and then you put them in a safe place. Cover that TV tray in a black cloth and stick it into a closet if you have to. But you want it where nobody's going to be all touchy-feely on it. Hey, what's this? Here, can I use this to go eat off? No. Okay? No. So if it's out of sight, it's out of mind for anyone else. All right. Okay, so we're going to start at step 1 now. We kind of covered all the little bases, but here's step 1. You have your altar, okay, whatever that is. Okay, remember, whatever you're using, that is your altar. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is cleanse it. All right, now, of course, I teach everyone, make sure it's clean, first of all, but you also want to cleanse it. So I always teach, as you know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time or know me at all, we cleanse it with the 4 elements, which is salt and water. I personally prefer sandalwood sea salt because it just is best. It gets rid of all negative energy, okay? So, and if there happen to be anything nasty kind of try to attach to it, it will help get rid of that. So, we don't drown it. If it's something you can wipe down, that's fine. If it's wood that's not sealed, you don't want to, get all that on there, but you're going to sprinkle it. You charge your salt and water and you sprinkle this all over it, okay? Yes, it's fine to wipe down the water that's on there. We don't want it pooling in the salt, causing an issue on the wood, if it's wood, okay? And then, of course, our sandalwood incense. Please, unless you have no other choice but to use a stick, please don't use stick incense. It's horrible. Anyway, but I prefer the powdered incense because it bellows out the smoke. Go watch my videos on cleansing. You'll see. But you charge that and you cleanse that whole altar all around, under it, everywhere, okay? Here's the thing. We want to remove all the energies that could possibly be attached to this piece of furniture, whatever it is, okay? And because we want it to be fresh and now, in ours, okay? And if you use some other method of cleansing, maybe you use a singing bowl or whatever, that's fine, okay? I just like to teach the way that I know works really great. But, if you have a different tradition, by all means, do it, your way. Just make sure that you cleanse it, removing any and all energies that are not in accord with you is the most important thing, okay? So whatever is negative is gone. That's just really important. Okay, so how do you charge an altar? After cleansing anything, okay, comes the charging. And so there are different ways of doing it based on how you do things. And if you don't know how to do things, I'm going to give you some ways, okay? Most items, I always tell people to touch, hold, whatever it is that, naturally you may not can hold your altar unless it's a tabletop that you put somewhere. But you charge it with your energy, okay? You're going to put your hands on it. You're going to touch it. This is my sacred space. Nothing else may reside. It is mine. And you don't have to say it out loud. You can, do it through your mind, but put your hands on there and send that energy out through your hands like you do with anything else, on your crystals, whatever, okay? Send that energy into it and charge it for what you want. You want this to be, I want you to be my altar, my ritual space, to hold my items and help them contain their energy that I put in them. And, whatever, okay? Whatever words you want to use, but state your intent clearly and specifically, okay? And then, the more that you use the space, the more it gets charged with your energy, okay? You're casting circle, you're doing ritual, you're doing all this stuff, and it just soaks up more and more and more, okay, until it becomes a living, breathing thing, just vibrating with the energy that you've put in it. Now, setting intentions for your space. We kind of talked about this, which is when you're charging it with intent, okay? And that is setting your intention for your space, your items, whether it's your circle, your altar, whatever it is you're doing, you're setting intentions as you're charging, okay? Real simple. Just be sure to tell it what it is, what its purpose is, okay? You are my ritual altar. You will be here when I hold rituals, when I do spells, whatever, okay? So whatever it is that you're planning on using it for, that's what you need to tell it, okay? So that it knows its purpose. Okay, remember, everything is energy, and we just want to combine our energy in there to make it help us and work for us, okay? Now, ongoing maintenance. So, now, if you have an altar room where it's always there, you don't have usually as much to, worry about, but there is still maintenance. There's dripped wax, there's spilt incense, there's spilt salt, there's whatever. You need to do actual cleaning of your altar periodically, unless you have a portable one where you're putting it up and taking it down. You're going to be cleaning it then. But these are regular things you need to do. Is, maintenance on things. Clean your statues, clean your stuff. Don't just let it go and be all nasty. And if you have other people coming into your ritual space, have they had a reason to touch your altar, or lay things on your altar or whatever, If so, you need to make sure that the energy is still correct for you, that it's still your energy vibrating in it, okay? So sometimes you may need to do a cleansing along with your cleaning and even a little recharging. And if it's one that you're having to put away, definitely make sure that you kind of recharge it every time so that it knows it's still your altar and what it's still supposed to be doing. Okay. Now, decorative versus a working altar. Now, this isn't judgment. I like a pretty altar. I like having my big candles and my little trinket things hanging around and some dragon's eggs laying around on my altar and all sorts of things, okay? Because over the years it collects, okay? But it does not, those items don't mean anything if they're not energetically charged, okay? Just making everything look pretty isn't what it's all about. It needs to be functional. Everything should have a purpose on your altar, okay? It's not just there to look pretty. They serve a purpose, okay? My statues serve a purpose to represent my god and goddess, and therefore that is a respectful thing for them, okay? If I'm working with dragons, then I may want a dragon statue or something, or gargoyles or fairies or whoever or whatever, okay? Make sure everything that's on there has a purpose, that it's not just there because it looks pretty, okay? Because we ain't caring what other people think about our altar. It's ours, and it needs to have the things on it that we want and need and use, okay? Now, it doesn't mean you can't have pretty things on there. I think these are beautiful, okay? But make sure they're not just there because, oh, look how pretty my altar is, okay? You want it to go, look how awesome my altar is. Look at my stuff. Look at this. I have these awesome things, and I've got my candles, and everything here is charged. And when I come in here to do a working, guess what? It works, okay? Because it all has meaning, all right? So it's not about aesthetics. It's about purpose, okay? I want you to be able to do the best work possible. That's why I teach you. Your altar can be one of the most powerful tools that you have. It all depends on you and how you properly cleanse it and charge it and use it, okay? How you use your altar makes a difference too in those energies. And if you want to learn more about building your altar and all these different things, I'll give you two great options. One, you can come and join my community, Sacred Legacy Builders, and the link will be down in the description. And in there, I have classes, I have free classes, paid classes, but, I have my year-in-a-day classes that will teach you all of this stuff and a whole lot more. But also, in my app, which is Sacred Legacy Portal. That link is also down in the description. It's a web-based app. And I have something new that I had put in there and that I'm still building on. Part of it's already ready, but there's a spell builder, a sacred space builder, and where you can also physically, build it in there. And coming up next is going to be my ritual designer and probably more. And these things teach you how to do it, okay? And to be able to do that and everything else in the app, it's $20 a month, and I promise you the app is worth a minimum of $50 a month. But for $20 a month, you can come in there and do everything, and this app is full of so much stuff, and it's not a bunch of AI. This is something that is built, and it's teaching, and there's more and more because I have been adding so much more to this, okay? You can get, for $10 a month, you can get into just the premium. It won't give you this part that I'm talking about along with some other things that's in the advanced. But that's up to you, all right? You can get into it free and kind of look around and then decide what part that you want. But I strongly suggest getting my app and my community because both of those will help you, okay? So if you're not there, please go down in the description and click on those links and join, all right? Both are free to join. If you want all the stuff, the community, in the community, there's classes. Each one has their own price. And the app at the most is $20 a month. But you will learn so much, and you won't have to Google anything anymore. It's just, at least magically, because it's pretty much all there. And if it's not there yet, it will be, okay? So anyway, I hope to see you there. And be sure to tell me that, hey, I found you on your YouTube, whenever you get in. I would really appreciate that because I like knowing. And while you're at it, do me a favor, if you haven't already, please click the subscribe and click the bell. It notifies you whenever I put out a new video. And also, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Let me know what things you want to learn about. And let me know if you're going to go join the community and the app. And please share my videos. It really does help me a lot. And all of these things lets YouTube know that people want my videos, okay? And it helps them put them out to people that may not see them otherwise, okay? So I'm LadyStarFire, and please build your sacred spaces with intention and follow things that help you to do better work, okay? So until next Monday, have a wonderful day and blessed be. Your spiritual path was never meant to fit inside someone else's box. Imagine one place where you can learn, explore, practice, and discover what truly speaks to you. Welcome to Sacred Legacy Portal. Explore witchcraft, herbs, crystals, deities, astrology, divination, rituals, the wheel of the year, and so much more. And this isn't just a library. Build sacred spaces. Explore interactive tools. Create, learn, and deepen your practice while discovering the why behind the magic. Created by LadyStarFire, drawing on more than 50 years of experience in the craft. Whether you're just beginning or have walked this path for years, your path, your practice, your sacred legacy.
Walk the old ways, hear the call. Moon and magic guide us all. Ancient wisdom, spirits near. Find your sacred circle here. Sacred legacy builders growing strong together. Learn with purpose, share your light. Building legacies forever. Real connection, wisdom shared. Your sacred journey starts right here.